Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, everybody. It is the 21st. Is it the 21st? It's the 21st. And you're watching live day trading with Speculator Seth. Remember, folks, professional traders use the DOM. Here we are. Oh, and by the way, the new camera is pink. I don't know what the deal is with that. We'll fix that a little bit later. But before that, we got to talk about trade. Oh my gosh, this thing, it just never ends. Yesterday, a story came out late in the afternoon after we were gone, saying that, according to people familiar with the matter, that the trade deal might not get done in December, which is kind of interesting because there's this whole thing, might not get done this year, which is interesting because there's this whole thing like, we're going to have some tariffs that are supposed to go into effect in December if there's not a trade deal, and I don't hear anybody saying anything about that. So it's just kind of a big mess, and of course, the markets really reacted to it. If we come over here into the charts, when we look at the 10-year treasuries, you can see we had a pretty significant move up here. And the equity markets really took it on the nose, although they did recover quite a bit of it. Now, overnight, they are coming back up on, guess what? You'll never guess, guys. You'll never guess why they're coming up. Optimism about trade talks. So here's the latest story on CNBC. China's top trade official has invited U.S. negotiators to take part in a fresh round of face-to-face talks, says the Wall Street Journal. During a phone call thought to have been made late last week, Chinese Premier Li He reportedly invited U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin to Beijing to sit down for further negotiations. This happened late last week, which by the way, would have been long before the administrations in the United States determined that we just can't get it done this year. So I continue to believe that this trade deal is not going to happen, that it is a farce. Well, I don't want to say, maybe farce is the wrong word, but the administration is basically hiding the situation here. The deal has completely fallen apart. The deal has completely fallen apart, and they don't want to say anything. Lucas says, offer some perspective on this. Markets don't make sense. I agree with you, Lucas. They don't make sense. Well, they do make sense, but I just think that they are being fooled. They're being fooled. Listen, guys, if there was a deal, they said we're going to have an interim trade deal. The reason that they wanted to have an interim trade deal was because they needed more time to work out the details on issues like forced technology transfers and intellectual property rights and all of these other things that the United States really wants. China, they need more time to work those out, but they don't want to put more tariffs on. And so they're going to make a deal where we don't put the more tariffs on and China starts buying things again like they said they would, but they didn't. But now they are apparently. And, that was an interim trade deal. And then China comes out and says, oh, we thought that the interim trade deal was basically everything. Well, then why would there be an interim trade deal? Explain that to me. So the whole thing doesn't make sense. And there's really only two possibilities. I only see two possibilities here. Either there was a really significant misunderstanding between the two sides, A, or B, China's fucking with you. Seriously, guys. Why are they doing this? It should be done. It should be done. It's an interim trade deal. You buy stuff. We don't put tariffs on. That doesn't take a month to figure out. It does not take a month to figure that out. They're messing with you. and the market continues to bubble up. Listen, guys, do not short a dull market, but I would just kind of have like a little stop by there on your treasuries for when the next bad headline comes out and there's a huge rush up. Option A, there was a big misunderstanding. I mean, we have to admit that it could have happened. They may have just misunderstood like what was an interim trade deal and what was this. I don't know, but I tend to think that the Chinese are prone to just try and mess with you. Listen, guys, I mean, this is where my own biases come out, but here I'm gonna give it to you anyways. You're looking here. Maybe the new camera will work. It's not. It's still pink. I don't know why the camera is pink. We gotta fix that. Let's just turn this off for a second. If I turn it off, it goes black. And if I turn it back on to video, now it works. Okay. All right. Now look at me, guys. Don't trust communists. Don't trust communists. Communists think that they're smarter than you. They aren't, but they think that they're smarter than you. And they think that they can exploit your generous capitalist tendencies to their advantage. And I really think that that's what the Chinese are doing right now. I could be wrong, but that's the way that I see it. So, with that, we do have some news in 4 minutes. We are going to get the, where is it here? The Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, we're looking for a reading of 7.0. And unemployment claims, we're looking for your standard reading of 215K. So that's in 4 minutes. And like I said, we had that huge move down and we've completely retraced it. So that's kind of where we're at. That makes it very difficult for me to have a bias for the day because I don't know if, reality is going to come. I don't know if reality is finally going to hit or if they're going to mess with us like they did yesterday. Because I've been waiting for this move up. And when it came, I was like, vindicate, but I wasn't sitting at the computer, right? I was already done trading for the day. And during the session, I didn't take any trades and they went down. So I don't know if that's what's going to happen again or what. Yeah, news, right? It's crazy. I mean, average folk is allowed to be clueless, but the administration, come on, right? Well, I mean, I think the thing here is, and this is where, to me, it gets a little crazy to me, is that I think that the administration knows. I think they know that the trade deal is falling apart. Of course they have to know. It's just that they think they need to do everything to keep this rally going and that gives them more negotiating power. And so they're hiding it. I really think that that's what's going on. But I think in the long term, it doesn't make sense because the further you pump this up, the more upset the market is going to be when they find out the truth. You know what I'm saying? One other thing, and then I have some toaster pastries to eat here, but it's really windy outside. Oh my gosh, it is so windy outside. My trash can probably blew over and is all over the front yard. But so if you hear anything weird in the background, it's super windy outside right now. Down tick, but it's kind of doing this flaky action already.
Lucas says I simmed along at 175 and took a quick 2 ticks before open at 820. I think I might sim through the entire session today.
Well, you know what? Let's wait and see what the news is at the bottom of the here in 30 seconds. Let's see if that causes any kind of a move. It might be really non-eventful. That's the problem. It might be really non-eventful. But then if it is, we might have another kind of setup like yesterday where it's really slow and then the E-mini opens up and we see which way the E-mini goes in. I mean, they recovered it really well here, but maybe when the E-mini opens, the bears will come out again. Maybe. I wouldn't hold my breath, though. Bear gang are a bunch of idiots. They just, no offense to the bear gang out there, but you guys are dumb. You've been selling all this time, you're dumb. But they're out there and we need them. At some point. I would like to see. Mara's saying that he's showing us some stuff about Gary Norton. I would like to see that. Okay, so the news came out and nothing. I'm not seeing it here on Twitter. Donald Trump is tweeting, though. The Navy will not be taking away warfighter and Navy SEAL Eddie Gallagher's Trident print. This case was handled very badly from the beginning. Get back to business. Okay, jobless claims 227K versus an estimated 215. We'll move down there. What was the Philly Fed here? What was the Philly Fed? I guess we also get non-farm Canadian data, but like, who cares about that? What is the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index? Give it to me. Give it to me, baby. How many times do I have to click refresh before you give me the number? Well, the longer I have to wait, usually the more
Lucas
significant
says some
the number
divergence
is.
Going on.
Yeah, some divergence is going on. I'm seeing the cumulative delta appears to be dropping even though we're buying. What's with that? Good catch, Lucas. Like I'm just hitting refresh and the Philly Fed number's not coming to me. Moving up. Okay, so 20 was where they had trouble getting over before. Distribution at 20 and 19.5. So not necessarily an area we would like to think around with too much. Okay, Philly Fed Manufacturing Index
Lucas
10
says your
spot
cam
4. It died. You're right. 10 spot 4 versus 7 spot 0. Let's fix the camera. Well, I thought that we were over that, but apparently not. We're still getting the little USB errors. I switched it over to the other USB link. Maybe I need to get a hub or something. But apparently it has to do with the USB. Maybe I should get rid of this and just go and get a freaking HD60 Pro. And use that for my camera. There was a good one on KSL. But I wanted the cam link so that I could use it for like Skype calls and stuff. Well, whatever. We should probably mess with the camera. 5,500 at 19.5. And 5,315 at 20. And up, and a few people buying into 20.5. Well, this is interesting. Put this here. I think we're good on the chat, though. I think that everything's working fine. Always respect the yen. What is the yen doing? The yen. The yen moved down. The yen did move down, but that little move down might not necessarily be a significant thing. Let's look around. Let's see a couple of things here on Twitter. Oh, no, I know what it is. Hold on. Let me eat this food first, and then we got another big subject to talk about here. Another big subject to talk about. I don't know. This is kind of weird. I mean, so the 30-year is maybe showing a little bit of like that they're going to buy it up here, but the deltas on all of this do not line up at all. Do not line up at all, folks. Money moves into that market, so yen's a good gauge of risk on or off with bonds and equities. So in U.S. session, if you watch 10 TES and yen, you should be able to get directional fill. Then can trade your technical style. Yeah. But you definitely I definitely would recommend if you're trading treasuries or the E-mini to have the yen up somewhere. The yen moved up pretty good here. I mean, like they retraced their move from earlier. Do I see stuff going on? Well, I can see the pound is moving. And the euro is moving. Okay. I pushed up there. They touched the 22 now, huh? Yes, they did. It came back really quick. I don't know if I want to short that one. For it to come back like that, that would be like a great short, but I don't think I want to mess with that one. Okay, so now that I'm done stuffing my face, I don't know what the deal is, but I just haven't been getting ready as fast lately. And here I am eating breakfast on stream. I always feel bad when I do that for some reason, but it's okay. So what is it that we should talk about here? There was a debate last night. Did you guys watch the debate last night? I'm gonna bet none of you did. I'm gonna bet none of you did. Did you watch the debate last night? Democratic nominee Elizabeth Warren up 1 cent, Bernie Sanders down 1 cent, and everybody else unchanged.
Says no.
Nope, Uzi didn't watch it. Of course, Uzi. Of course, he wouldn't. I don't think I could pay Uzi to watch it. How much money, Uzi, would it take for me to pay you to watch the Democrat debate? Hamlin.
Lucas says nope, not me.
Not me. And everybody else 1 cent. Oh, there's so many people
Harlequin
that are down
says
at
I
1
watched
cent.
the Daily Show summary. Does that count beaming face with smiling eyes?
No, it does not count. Well, I didn't watch it either, so I'm gonna watch it probably today.
Uzi Knesset says I'm not against watching it. Just don't have cable and don't care to put in the effort lol.
Right.
Greg Orlovsky says GM, no.
Good morning, Greg. How's it going? What do you make of this market, Greg? Because I'm kind of in like, I don't want to touch this thing. It's a weird market. Well, anyways, I have read a couple of summaries, but it looks to me like, hey, until there are less than 10 people in the debate, and I mean, honestly, it's ridiculous that we're still having a 10-person debate. I don't know if they're doing that on purpose or what. Maybe they don't want people to take the debate seriously, but come on. It's a little ridiculous, okay, guys? You can't have a serious debate with 10 people. Maybe 5.
Harlequin says well I guess thanks to the Daily Show I watched 5 more minutes than anyone else here. 2 minutes were about Joe Biden failing.
So the headline that I saw was Joe Biden says he wouldn't prosecute Donald Trump in his administration. And I am like, that is like, I'm sure there was more nuance to what he actually said, but that is probably like the worst headline that could be written about you right now if you're a Democrat. Am I wrong? Oh my gosh, look at my camera died again. Can you believe this crap? Can you believe this? And it paused
Lucas
it in like
says,
the worst frame.
Harlequin says lol nice frezzing cam. Should be your new profile picture.
Should be my new profile picture. I like it. What's on the roof? Can you hear the background? It is super windy outside. I don't think you can. Well, maybe while I'm talking, you might be able to hear it, but it is super windy outside. So I live next to a canyon, and the winds come through this canyon are just insane. The wind that we're getting right now actually isn't too bad. It's only like 20 miles an hour. Yeah, 20 miles an hour winds. Not that bad. We've had them like 50, 60, 70 before. One year, there was like a microburst, and all of the trees on my street just got taken out. There's no trees on my street because they all died. But it was really windy. It was hard sleeping through that. I think I did okay sleeping, but yeah. Uzi.
Uzi Knesset says 20 miles per hour? Lol, call me when you hit 160 face with tongue.
Yeah, on 60s, that's hurricane winds. We've never had hurricane winds. But hearing the wind outside,
Harlequin says any reason the Amini is so much up again? Almost 17 points since overnight open.
No reason. Well, I mean, China trade war hopes. What else would it be? This whole thing is ridiculous, but what you gonna do? I mean, what? You gonna short the E-mini? Try it. I dare you.
Harlequin says hard to keep up if there were any trade news.
Yeah, well, there was some headlines overnight. Okay, in fact, here I was looking at a nice little picture here. Let me show you this picture from Zero Hedge. They're showing all of the different news events. Okay, deal delayed into 2020. It went down, so this must be ES. Can I see here? They don't even say what instrument it is. It must be ES though. I wonder what charging software he's using. Okay, so there's ES, and then it recovered, and then the House passed the vote, and so we opened lower, and then we had a little bit of a move up when Liu He says he's cautiously optimistic, and then China Commerce Ministry says striving to reach phase 1 deal. They don't like the passing the Hong Kong bill. Okay, whatever. Down and back up. China invited U.S. trade negotiators for further talks. That went up and down. And now, finally, U.S. may delay December 15th tariff, even if no deal by then, SCMP. So they're backtracking. I'm telling you, I because we've been talking about it on stream all day, and I just wanted it to be there at the beginning of a video. But I do not think that this trade deal is going to happen. But I wouldn't fight it. I wouldn't fight it. In fact, let's change the name of the stream. Let's call it Why the Trade Deal Probably Isn't Happening. And that'll be a good clickbaity headline for everybody to click on today. Man, it's curious as well, like if we're in a buy mode, okay, if the E-mini wants to buy, treasuries are moving up. And the area that the treasuries are moving around in is a chop zone, a really, really wide, ugly chop zone. So I stay out of those. I don't know. I think we should mess around with the camera a little bit again today. What do you guys think? So I was wondering, I wanted to make a couple of changes, and I wish I had done them last night, but let's make a couple of changes, shall we? So I think my first change I want to make is that I want the lights in the room to be a little dimmer. I'm going to do that. Okay, that's not too bad. I maybe took them down a little bit too much, but you know, I think it's okay. And we can do this. Let's increase this to like 20. Is 20 good? Yeah, that's good. I think I need to get another light at some point, like a fill light over here. Get a slightly different color on me. Yeah, I do think I made it just a little bit too dark. How about that? Now I'm like nice and in focus. I also want, yeah, maybe we could move the light up a little bit. The key light. I have to get like behind the desk. You might hear weird noises. Just don't freak out. It's okay. There might be weird noises.
Harlequin says I'm feeling bad for the shorts in the S. Some hedge fund overleveraged in short positions and their owner said during an interview, if the short doesn't work out it is gonna be my last interview, lol. Gary Rich says can you whisper to us, tell us sweet lies how great you've ever had.
Oh yeah, I think that's way better. What do you think? Can you whisper to us, tell us sweet, sweet lies, how great you've ever had? You want me to whisper to you sweet, sweet lies, guys? We are gonna make this trade deal. It is gonna be the greatest trade deal in the history of trade deals. China is not messing with us at all. They're being completely honest here. They're just doing their best. They're just doing their best, guys. They're not trying to mess with us at all or anything like that. And if we're just patient, sometime in January or February, when the administration gets things all worked out, we'll have a trade deal, and the markets will just go up and up and up.
Pay for it.
And Mexico, we're gonna have a trade deal, and Mexico's gonna pay for it.
Gary Rich says all you need is a disco ball, and it's complete.
A disco ball? Well, I'm thinking. So let me lay out my thoughts here on the background, because I've been looking at it. I tell you what, this is a funny thing yesterday. So like, I watch a lot of videos recently about, how to improve your stream, and just stuff about photography and so forth in general. And so they're talking about, you need to have an interesting background, because that's, how people identify with you. You want to have an interesting background. And so I'm thinking, okay, I could do this and I could do this. I should get interesting stuff. Like I would like an American flag. There's always an American flag in the big trading floors, isn't there? My wife wasn't so keen on the idea. I think if I put a flag, I would put it like right there behind that base strap. Like right there over the left side of me. My right shoulder, your left. Right there. I think there should be a flag right there. And my wife is like, no, that would be dumb. Like, nobody would ever put a flag there. That would look so weird. People will wonder what's going on. Like, it wouldn't look good. And I'm like, well, to anybody just coming into the room, but on stream, it would totally make sense, right? Maybe.
Harlequin says hire a stripper and put her in front of the stream, obviously at least half naked. Your viewership should increase by a lot.
Maybe.
Lucas says some folks might give you a hard time over it.
Could be. Well, anyways, so I'm telling my wife, I was like, we should look for like decor and stuff we can put here. Maybe we can get like little statues of a bull and a bear. We need this desk behind me to be wider so we have a place to put stuff. And she's like, how about we just not waste money on things that won't help your stream? and I was like, well, yeah, but I need something to like look at and look forward to. Oh, wait, there's a comment coming in.
Gary Rich says just play the kids' song Shark Shark. Lots of new viewers. Don't forget the shark hands. Lol.
Well, that wouldn't make... we'd have to adjust it, right? We'd have to adjust it. It'd be like, baby, mini, 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 baby, mini, 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 micro, mini, mini. Come on. No, I don't think that would help the stream either. But I still want to do stuff. So I'm going through, looking at like what sort of things it can do. And I'm thinking we get the background relatively dark, and then we put like a red light behind this monitor here, so that wall lights up red.
Harlequin says I heard a Winnie Pooh statue would help you with Chinese viewers.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea, Harl. They love Winnie the Pooh. We should do. I don't think I have Winnie the Pooh anywhere in the house. Gonna have to fix that. I should be careful. I mean, we do have some Chinese viewers. I don't want anybody to have to focus on their concentration. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, but if I was going to do like a red light back there, I would maybe it would need to make it a little
Harlequin
more.
says Hong Kong flag could also do wonders.
There we go. Yeah. I think mostly though an American flag, man. Anything that screams capitalism. Maybe a nice poster of Milton Friedman or something like that. Like something that communists will really hate. Like the American communists, not just the Chi-Coms. Because Chi-Coms aren't really even communists anymore. They're like fascists, as far as I'm concerned. And this is a really ugly action in the tenure. I am not a fan of the way that it is ticking around right now. So I think here, this light, I can kind of tilt it down a little bit, so I think I'll do that.
Harlequin says wear a shirt with the following text, there are only 2 genders. Harlequin says in a MAGA hat.
Well, I could do a hat, maybe. I mean, a hat would actually... you know, a hat would actually help from a photography perspective, because then I wouldn't have to worry about this
from YouTube?
this huge shiny spot on my head. Uzi's got a good point. Listen, we're trying to piss off the Chi-Coms, not YouTube.
Gary Rich says I booked my trip to China on Expedia so I can get my organs harvested. I got 1 million yuan.
That sounds exciting, man. Can you believe man. The stories I come out, to me, here's the crazy thing to me is you got all of this stuff going on. Okay, Congress made a, what do we say? What was it called? A resolution. They made a resolution supporting Hong Kong. Great. That's great. I really support Hong Kong. My father, he went on a...
Uzi Knesset says gonna tour the gulags? I hear they're beautiful this time of year.
They're not gulags, Uzi. They're schools for people with difficulty concentrating. Anyways, my father, he went on a Mormon mission to Hong Kong. So I've always, since I was a little child, heard stories about Hong Kong and really favorite. Oh, yes, by the way, just remembered something. Yeah. Oh.
Uzi Knesset says nothing highlights the beauty of a Chinese country road like mass graves. Harlequin says I'm working for Pornhub. Trying to get streamer to switch. Amini getting fucked by China, Trump and the Fed fits perfect with the rest of our videos.
Trying to get streamer to switch Amini. I think so. No, wait, didn't read this one? I didn't hear this one.
Uzi Knesset says nothing highlights the beauty of a Chinese country road like mass graves.
Good grief, dude. Anyways, Congress made that resolution. Okay, but why hasn't Congress made a resolution condemning the genocide going on in China? Really? It's a genocide, folks. They're not. It's just like, it's just a genocide, guys. We can totally trade with them and, don't want to lose that dollar. I think because I moved the light a little further away, I should turn it up a little bit. What do you think? How does that look, guys? How about, and let's just switch it over here to the full camera view. No, not that camera. That camera. I think that looks a little better than it did before. What do you think?
Uzi Knesset says basketball dollars more important, lol.
I have to go back later, watch the video again, and see what I think about it. And of course, just as I do that, it dies.
Gary
again.
Rich says I'm trading the Amini organ order flow with large footprint charts.
Large footprint.
Harlequin says it's not a genocide if nothing is happening there. Hashtag big brain time.
You know what? I think, guys, you have forgotten that you can use pound accent China M for these sorts of things. That still works. That still works. Okay, so I got two things here. That we got to do. Okay, first thing is, I bumped my monitor. Okay, fix the monitor. My wife. Okay, hold on. Oops, hold on a second. Okay. Fix these. All right. So that's the first thing. Fixing my monitor. Maybe a little bit too high.
Harlequin says we Chinese have nothing to do with genocides. Better ask the Germans. They have experience.
You would know, Harl, right? Okay, so that was the first thing. What was the second thing? We wrote an indicator yesterday, and I think we did it wrong. So if I come in here, did we add another chart? We didn't add another chart. Okay. Wait, there it is right there. Okay, so there's that, and let's add another chart to play with here. New chart. I'm just making sure my monitor is like the right size. Okay. 30-minute. Okay. Get rid of all the indicators. Remove. And range tick. Range tick. 30-minute. Okay. So it says 9 ticks. It says that this one is 9 ticks. Is it? 20.5. 21.5. Maybe not that one. Maybe I meant this one. 9. 17. 17.5.
Harlequin says they gave us
22.
the idea of concentration camp because many people have problems with their concentration and silly thoughts about freedom of speech and liberty and such things.
It is not. That is not
Knesset
correct.
says we make basketball court out of ground-up bones of undesirables.
High of 0 minus low of 0. Is that going to be different? Compile. So this one said 9. Now if I refresh. Am I doing my math wrong? Let's say that it was 18 and 22. That's 8. That's 9. No, it is right. It's 9. You know what? Maybe we were misreading it. I think that it actually did work. 21.5 needs to hold. Happy to wait for ES open now. Yen currently telling me I'm crazy. It's suggesting risk off pivot key, I guess. Well, it did not do what I expected. Make basketball court. What the heck? That was a little bit dark, Uzi. That was just a little bit too dark. I mean, they might actually be doing that. How many times do you think that we're going to have to reset the cannon here? How many times, guys? How many times? So there's something I'm doing that triggers it off. Okay, so that was the first thing. The second thing is that we've got somebody here named Mara.
Knesset says not dark, always sunny in glorious communist empire. People very happy, even the dead.
Downloads, sure. Somebody sent us a PowerPoint slide. Oh, can I not open it? Do I not have Office over here? I don't have to install Office, guys. I don't want to do that. I don't want to log in and install Office. Let's see if I can log in. Account manager. Office for home. Cool. It was a PowerPoint. How do I put this over here? Upload and open. There we go. Okay. Downloads. Verify. It wants me to verify my identity. Okay. Cool. That actually wasn't so bad. Always.
Uzi Knesset says not dark, always sunny in glorious communist empire. People very happy, even the dead.
Not sure what it looked like when I was watching it on... oh man, I'm sorry, hold on. Yeah, that's for sure what it looked like when we were watching the Olympics. Okay. This isn't okay. Somebody was, hey, I got some information from Gary Norton that you guys might be interested in, and so he's given it to me. It is some information from this PowerPoint level slides and goals. Don't be low. Why? Nothing useful. Platform speed specialization. Oh, okay. Try to avoid larger traders. Okay. Well, he's telling me. So the thing here is he had given me this stuff, and he wants $50 in Bitcoin for the whole thing. Yeah. That's not okay. I'm just going to ban him. No, I'm not going to give him a reason. That's disappointing. I don't know if that was the same Mar from before, because he was a good trader and I liked him, but turning around and selling somebody else's materials for $50 and asking for Bitcoin is super shady. And I didn't want to do that, but I think that the correct course of action was to ban him. And of course, we can tell Gary, but I'm sure that at this point he already knows, and there's not really much he can do about it. That's unfortunate. Unfortunate.
Uzi Knesset says, what you talking about?
I'm sorry. I did not give you guys enough context there. So there is a great trader, guy I really respect, named
Our
Gary
FO trader
Norton.
says he makes his students sign a non-disclosure act.
Named Gary Norton. And Gary Norton is a scalper, kind of more of a market making setup, and often only taking a tick. And I've had many people ask me about him because I asked about his course, but it was too much for me. It was like $5,000 or something. I was like, I don't think so. Anyways, so there was a member that took his course, and I think that this is the same Mar. If I believe this is the same Mar that it was, then Mar was here like a year ago, participated a lot in chat and everything. He was actually a pretty good trader too. So I don't know why he would even feel the need to go to Gary, but Gary knows the stuff. So, anyways, so he is passing around a PowerPoint slide, which I'll show you here. Downloaded it. If you give a broker a large order, they will usually tell you.
Did the Chinese get to you? At least you aren't putting him in a camp, lol.
Right. Anyways, so he gave me this PowerPoint slide, and then he said, I'll give you the rest of the materials for $50 if you give it to me in Bitcoin. And I'm not okay with that. I mean, I'm happy to have this, but I kind of wanted to see what he was giving us, and it looks to me like he's trying to give us everything that Gary has, and that's not okay. And you're saying, who was it that said that? RFO Trader says he makes his students sign a non-disclosure act. Does he really? Because he was saying, Mar was saying that I deleted all of his posts too. So I can't see, so you can't see it, but I did ban him. Oh, Gary. I guess we might as well message him. I don't really know. Oh, actually, I do know. I can email him. Here it was. Let's send him an email. Just wanted to give you a heads up. It's just, I'm sorry, guys. It's really disheartening. It's really disheartening to me. Is he still doing the... Is that still the best way to get a hold of him? Yeah, owner, director, Gary Norton. Okay.
Uzi Knesset says 50 bitcoins, eh?
Yeah, he wanted 50. He wanted it in bitcoins. That was, to me, was the thing that like really triggered me. Was like, if you're trying to do it in bitcoins, then obviously you're doing something sketchy. But I think that, I don't know if that was the same Mar. I just don't think that Mar would do that. And when I asked if it was the same guy, he was kind of...
Uzi Knesset says so, like 40 grand for a PowerPoint file? LMAO.
Well, no, not 50 bitcoins. It was whatever $50 is in Bitcoin at that time. The course that Gary sells is $5,000.
Uzi Knesset says oh.
Yeah. Okay, so let's send that to him.
Harlequin says yeah, Bitcoin is shady. Should it pay with Garlicoin?
Right, exactly. Listen, if you want to make legitimate cryptocurrency transactions, you should choose Garlic Coin.
Harlequin says asterisk least.
Garlic Coin is such a shitty coin, guys. I love it, man. Hey, listen. It's fun stuff.
Claudio
Coin.
Ibarola says hi, can you see the depth for Bitcoins?
You can. Well, you can, but the Bitcoin market is fractured. So it might be a little bit more complicated than that. You would probably, I think that if you're going to want to watch the market depth and you were going to make trades based off of that, I think that you would have to have Coinbase, BitMEX, and Bitfinex all open. But I suppose you could do that. I suppose if you had a DOM, and you could connect all three and you have a DOM like this to all three. But I don't know if there's a platform there. Well, actually, there was one that kind of was showing, that kind of had a DOM that I saw. I don't know. This action in the 10-year is really bad. I don't know. I mean, of course, something could happen. Of course, something could happen, but if it does, we might just miss the boat. But
Harlequin says either your cam is frozen again or you are doing an incredible job as a living statue.
That's so great. So hold on, let me try moving it to a different USB port. Well, it didn't like that. Hold on. It really didn't like that. Oh, the USB device malfunctioned and the computer does not recognize it. Which set of these am I using? Maybe I should switch this like that and put this one here and use the 3.1 port.
Harlequin says Mars sends his regards.
Mars sends his regards. Well, it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. It's not okay. So, whatever. I don't know what else to say about it. Like I have very, you can tell I have very conflicting feelings about it right now. Okay. All right. So now I'm purple. Okay. Hey. Now we're back. Okay. Hopefully that fixes the problem. Using the different port. I mean, I'm sure people message him and he can do what he wants, but Bond's playing all sorts of games. Yes, they are, but when they've been playing games lately, they've been selling. I don't know. E-mini is on a slight upturn.
Harlequin says what's this ninja script output?
Oh, on the very far left. So that is showing
Claudio
us.
Ibarola says ZN is maybe trapping traders.
Yeah, it could be. You think that it's trapping traders to the downside? I'm not getting enough to tell me that that's what they're doing. Although I do see a little something, just a little. Anyways, this is basically a resting order tape. So it shows you the same thing with like a, like your
Harlequin
regular
says,
order
is it like
tape.
a times and sales list?
Yeah, it's like a time and sales list. So here's your regular tape, and it shows us market orders. This shows me large resting orders being placed and canceled. I really need to make a custom object so that I can have one that looks nice. But for now, I'm just outputting text. So this is telling me somebody put a bid at 129.18. They pulled 935 orders, and the 0 is how many ticks away it was. So 0 means that it was on the inside. So on the inside at 18, they pulled and let it tick down. Makes sense? Alligator says,
Harlequin
don't forget
says yes.
rollover. Oh, that's a good point. This isn't the last week.
Claudio
though, is it?
Ibarola says okay.
Now I should message IQ here.
Octavius C says, can you code that for Sierra? Legacy says, big sell-off today?
So Octavius, I plan on writing it for Sierra, actually. So I think what I'm going to do, or the current plan is, during the holidays when I get some days off,
Harlequin says this is fairly new, right? Or was I just blind the whole time?
Let me finish that. So I'm going to write it for Sierra Charts, and then I'm probably going to give it to somebody else to sell, and they'll sell it for a reasonable price. Yeah. Like $100 or something. Like, it won't be something ridiculous. This is fairly new, right? Yes and no. So I've had this tape since about August. Yeah, August. I wrote it in August, but it's just been behind my picture. And the other day, I decided, oh, hey, we can just make our e-mini a little smaller and put it up there. So I put it up there for you guys. That's also the clicking sound, right? So do you see them? All of these asks being placed really far away. Spoofing.
Michael XC says, what's the indicator supposed to do?
Why would they be doing that? What is the indicator supposed to do? Well, we're talking about the tape. So again, it shows you large resting orders changing. And it has to be more than 400 contracts for it to show up. So all of that clicking right there was some algorithm stacked a ton of stuff on the ask way out, like 175 ticks away. Right? So probably some sort of spoofing behavior going on there. Some sort of spoofing. I've seen this happen a couple of times, but I haven't seen it happen enough times to really have an idea of what tends to happen when you get that. Anyways, I want when I put it all together, it'll be like that tape, and it'll be these histograms that we have here. Histograms, and then some of the data stuff, or not data, the statistics, like the stuff that gives you statistics. I was talking to somebody on a Twitch channel the other day about the statistics. I like some of the guys in this channel. That's somebody else's Twitch. I won't tell you because I don't want you guys to go and harass them or anything. I should speak louder, by the way. Anyways, and I just feel like that they take trades like
Gary
they make
Rich
really
says,
good
Seth,
speculative
are you watching
plays.
that ninja tape for entry or exits or both?
Oh, yeah, no, that's a good question. So I would, if I see a lot of spoofing, well, not spoofing, but if I see a lot of those, I want to see a few of the big orders doing that sort of a thing for me to even want to interact with the market. So far today, we haven't been seeing a lot of those. Now that we've gotten down here to 17.5, we're starting to see them. That can be indicative of a reversal. About 60% of the time when we get an overextension, it's a reversal. And usually the large orders coincide with the rest of the market. At the moment, I'm seeing it go in treasuries, and the E-mini's not. Well, I'm seeing big orders, but I'm not seeing the rest of the market doing it, so I'm kind of ignoring it because the E-mini is about to go. But yeah, I could make entries or exits based on that. Every once in a while, I'll get a divergence between them where the regular traders don't seem to care about this spot, but I can see big orders and they're close. And that's a really good reversal. Yeah. Anyways, what was I saying before that? I'll ask my
Gary
train of
Rich
thought.
says, are you able to record the tape or replay that indicator so you can replay to sense how these spoofs occur?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not really. I mean, if you did a Ninja Trader replay, which I've never messed with, I assume that you would see this stuff. But I recommend you just keep stats on it. Just every time that you see it, you put it in a spreadsheet. And this is something that isn't common enough for me. Like I've seen it maybe 4 times. So I don't know what it means. But somebody's doing something funky. Basically, up until now, there has been no real reason to get involved in the markets. You can see that there aren't a lot of big players in it. And now, here just before the E-mini, there are. So probably they're making a move, planning on doing something in the E-mini. But what they're planning on doing, I can't say. What they're planning on doing, I can't say. Hopefully it's a buy. But I don't know if I'm even going to take a trade today, to be honest with you. It's just the way that it's been behaving and everything. Well, if I had to speculate, it would be a buy at 17.5. I'm prone to believe that signal says that they're going to reverse here. Yeah. What else was I thinking about here? Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Well, the E-mini is selling on the open. So that's curious. In the past 24 hours, all of the positive trade reports have come from the Chinese side, and all of the negative ones are coming out of the US. I noticed that as well. I don't completely understand why that would be, though. Okay, iceberg at 18. Oh, I know what it was. I wanted to finish reading this thing. Hmm. So they pushed lower there really fast. There was another click on the ask. 500 added at 17.5. The E-mini still selling. Okay. Well, that's no good. Uh, okay. Some fighting there. E-mini's still selling. Hmm. In fact, the selling in the E-mini is actually pretty heavy.
Claudio Ibarola says, why did you take the trade?
So we were saying earlier that we kind of saw some institutional activity here, and I'm seeing some spikes. And then I saw some buying at 17.5 that looked pretty aggressive, like that they were trying to buy and hold that price. For the moment, the sellers were able to make it go offer, but there you see it go bid again, and then instantly 900 are on it. So this is very much a I don't know what's the word. This is very much an art, but basically there was something about the way that the orders were hitting that price and the way that the level 2 is going that suggests to me that buyers want to hold that price.
Block sell.
Okay. So they just sold 300 at 17.5. And he buys it. What the hell? Okay, so I have definitely found a
Michael
spot.
XC says, how much longer to stay in an S short?
I don't know, dude. Something's going on here.
Claudio Ibarola says, okay.
Wow. There's definitely something going on at this spot. But the buyers aren't sweeping 18. I can see then the 5-year, the 24 looks vulnerable, but there's not a lot of orders going into it yet. And the E-mini did take a little pause there. It actually shifted around in this area quite a bit. The stacking down here in this area is odd. Okay, there's the E-mini pushing down. Oh, wow. That was a lot of volume that just traded there. But it didn't go. It didn't stay bid. Okay. So now that 18 is stacking. They hit 17.5 and 6,000 traded, and now they're trying to bump it back up again. Okay. Well, this buyer is serious. $10K now. 5-year has something to do with it too. Like there's crazy volume in the 10, but they seem to be moving in part based on the 5-year, and the 5-year has big icebergs on both sides of this too. I don't know why I'm not seeing anything in the 30-year, but the delta is buy in this area most overall.
Lucas says good lordy lol.
Right? This is pretty wild fight here at the low.
Lucas says they are battling it.
So there's the E-mini pushing the low again. There's still a ways to go before they're even like at the session opens. So like curiously enough, that did not cause more buying. Okay. That did. New low in the E-mini. Okay, finally a tick up. Still a lot selling there at 18 though. Okay. Alligator says he's unconvinced by the longs. I haven't seen a battle like this in a while. Oh, what are you doing, 5? Ah, strong bid at 24. And 24 quarter goes. Okay. Now the
Harlequin
ES is
says selling
starting
so much
to
into the
get
low of the
ugly.
day. Someone must be confident lol.
You mean on the ES? I don't know.
Lucas says where's our good friend Ace?
Right? This would be a great spot for it. I mean, would he have gone short at the beginning and be in a having a runner right now? I suspect that's what he would have done. Would that have been at the open? Yeah. Well, he could have taken it short even before the open. He might have been able to take it at like 31.12.
Harlequin says nah meant at CN. The battle 175 versus 180.
Yeah, okay.
Lucas says you are at the mercy of the sharks there, Seth.
True. No, you're right. I mean, I took a trade based on my strategy. I saw a spot that looked like it was going to hold. It did. But it would always be much better to just see it start ticking up and ticking up and ticking up. And instead, we still seem to have these sellers that seem very persistent. So I don't know. Both sides look really confident, don't they? So now the E-mini might try and take the 3100. Oh boy. Luke says, enjoy the red Lamborghini. Okay. Well, I'm a little concerned about this iceberg here, but there was a lot of order flow down here. There could be some profit taking up here. Okay. Okay. That was somebody trying to hold 17
Harlequin says well Seth time to pull out the big money and just defeat the seller by yourself. You can go easy on him and just do 15,000 market orders.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks to me like I might have a really great trade, but that I'm in a let's screw around with Seth area. And now they don't hit immediately back into 17.5. Yeah, that's not the way that's supposed to go. Although I suppose it could have just done that because the E-mini turned around there at 3100. Whoa. Okay. They are not stacking at 18.5, by the way.
Lucas says I will buy 170 and quickly take +1.
Yeah, well, the way I'm looking at it now, the way that this is ticking around makes me think that I should be trying to take little ones.
Lucas says there, worked out lol. Wished I was this confident live.
You may need a little bit of tumbling there. So I'm not seeing people hit into 18. Okay. Well, that was an okay uptick. $24 was where it was before, right? Yeah. Where there was like, okay, they took 24 and then they took 24 and a quarter, and then I was like, oh, it's good. And then they fell back so quickly. The E-mini's back at that low really fast. Okay. So if you hit into 18.5 and they take it very quickly. Well, there's still some sellers pushing back on us there, but look at the stack at 18. Oh, there's some numbers at the top of the hour, is there?
Legacy says told ya, we are selling off today.
You think that we're going to sell off in the... Oh, you meant in the E-mini. You should be more specific, or you should say risk on, risk off. If you say risk on, risk off, then I know. Depending on the instrument, which way you're talking about. But if you just say buy or sell, we should specify the instrument. That's 3,000 at 18.
Legacy says haha, you're right.
Okay, so they sold it and that was all real. Whoa, what the fuck? That 2,000 hit just right away. Well, so they're starting to send some pretty monster orders at each other. Well, I still really like my trade, but it's been too long. Of course, now they take 18.5. Now they do it. And look, they're luring at 18.5. I shouldn't have taken it off. Oh, I'm going to feel so bad.
Claudio Ibarola says if they bid 185 the sellers are going to puke OTU I think.
Alligator said Tyler's back at Fight Club. He's right. For the time being, E-mini is recovering again. I don't know if the treasuries are going to sell back down. See, if I had held that, I might have been able to get 18.5, but as it stands right now, I could just be getting out at 18 again. But I also suspect that they're going to give another look at 17.5 and even perhaps 17. I suspect that what's happened here is that block sell that we had at like what 17 was a large trader that got trapped, and then a couple of people started reversing it like me, and then they started selling the E-mini aggressively, so these guys all bought it and held it. The concern that I have is that if that's the case, we might not necessarily have like this big guy that's really planning on buying it up, and he's really not taking it like he has a plan. It's just kind of like the orders come through based on what the other instruments are doing instead, which is not as I've kind of been noticing is not as positive for you. So I'm concerned that if the E-mini ekes it out here, that you've got a lot of longs now but from this 17.5 area that are very vulnerable to getting stopped out at 16.5. So, well, you can just see it there at 18.5. Like, why wouldn't they, if you were a buyer and you wanted to push this thing, why wouldn't you just buy 18.5? You know? I don't know. I got a tick out of it though, so I guess I can't complain. I'm surprised that our camera is still going. I'm not. Oh, we are seeing the light. We are seeing the light now, so it's gonna die soon. It's gonna die soon. I think though, today we get the AC adapter, and hopefully we have no problems with that, and everything's good. And by the way, after switching that USB port, we haven't had a problem, have we? So that's good. I don't know. When we're going and buying, he's not pushing it. When we're selling, they kind of do. So, like, I think both sides are vulnerable, but I think that the seller has more fundamental case than the buyer does. Like the seller is probably somebody that just has to get rid of them for whatever reason, and he doesn't really care. Whereas the buyer, I think, are trying to speculate. Does that make sense? So that's why I took the one. If they bid 18.5, the sellers are going to puke out, I think. Yeah, well, if they buy 18.5 and they put a good stack there and hold it, the thing is it's gone bid a couple of times, and they immediately hit it back down. And I mean, look at this, what this seller is willing to do. Okay, that 4,000 traded almost all at once. What the heck is Donald Trump tweeting about here 30 minutes ago? I have been watching people make phone calls my entire life. My hearing is and has been great. Never have I been watching a person making a call which was not on speakerphone and been able to hear or understand a conversation. I've even tried, but to no avail. Try it live.
Popularity Matters says this witness is hilarious.
What's going on? What is he talking about? Oh, so Donald Trump is saying that if it's not on speakerphone, I don't know what they're talking about. So there must be something going on in the impeachment hearing related to that. Is that what the deal is? Popularity matters? Look at them pushing it. It's tempting to go short at 17.5 now, isn't it? Yeah.
Skylar Ream says, do you trade S or NQ?
Hey, by the way, good welcome, Skylar.
Popularity
That's
Matters
your name.
says the witness is saying that he was there when Sondland made the call to Trump and he could hear Trump over the line.
Oh, that's bullshit. Okay, that's interesting. Well, anyways, Skylar, I do make trades in the E-mini from time to time. I trade the micros because my account's pretty small. So I'm a full contract in ES is a little
Popularity
bit too much
Matters says NQ is CL's bad girlfriend.
Yeah, NQ is a widowmaker for sure. I go into, so if you go into our Discord, well, it's not really our Discord. I should note the Discord existed before the YouTube channel. Okay, but if you go into the Discord, there's a lot of NQ traders in that equity indexes channel, and I think that some of them are crazy, but you know, if you're making money from it, you're making money from it.
Popularity Matters says it was fun. Popularity Matters says I traded NQ some late yesterday with just RTY and S as my filter DOM only.
Makes sense. In this PDF I'm reading, market activity doesn't seem right. E.g., if you see correlated contract fall and your contract is holding up well despite good selling, this tells you there must be a large buyer. Any turnaround in the correlated contract could see sharp rally in this one. Yes. By the way, E-mini turning back down again. Do you think? Oh, by the way, existing home sales 5.46 million versus an expected 5.49 million. Do we got anything else going on here with this? Hold on. So, just based on that, what I was just saying, notice here, when we were selling in the E-mini last time, we were like at 18.5, right? This time, they're selling in the E-mini. They're having a hard time even holding 17.5. There's a big seller out there. Question is, can he sell it all? Or is he trying to hold the market down so that he can get more fills and buy it? How much is traded here? Those last two bars were both over 50,000. And this 15-minute period so far, 10,000. 10,000 just in the last 2 minutes. Okay, so here, there was a couple of numbers. There was a consumer confidence number for the euro. -7 versus expected 7. CB leading index, -0.1 versus spot 1. -0.1. So all of the numbers look in line. Natural gas storage in 30 minutes. They're the pretty scary tick down at 17. Look at all these targets below. There are definitely some shorts expecting it to break. I don't know, folks. See, there it is again. E-mini is going down. You see some flow, positive flow come into the treasuries and try and push it up, but it doesn't go. I'm not confident enough in my ability to find a spot that will hold to take a short here, but I am starting to think that they're gonna break the low. Well, he's stacking a decent amount at 17.5 on the edge. It's not necessarily a good thing. Well, the stuff in this PowerPoint slide from Gary Norton is pretty like standard stuff. But I'd be interested to see what's in the rest of it, but I'm not going to spend $50 for it. It's wrong. There they go again, an E-mini. So now they're trying to test that at 3,100.
Popularity Matters says whenever they show you a good position to get filled, the goal is to wipe you out. At least in ZB. It is predatory order flow.
Think so? Oh, there they went. They took a new low. Look at all of the orders going into 16 and getting fills, though. Yeah. Was the overnight low 16 or was it 16.5? It was 16.
Popularity Matters says at least 60% of the time.
Yeah. Well, when I said I looking for a position, I meant like say we were to have taken 17.5. That's probably the most likely spot that you could have gotten filled to try and go short. How confident are you that they wouldn't tick through 18.5 before pushing it lower? If you 100% know that they're going to push it lower, why couldn't they push it higher again and then do it? You know? So it's kind of like it's kind of hard to find a spot. It's maybe better to try and take it as she goes. But even when I see it as she goes here, this flow lower wasn't necessarily like a strong trend sort of a thing has happened quite yet. 2 ticks down though. I guess if we had taken it at 17.5, we would maybe be getting out. Or we could maybe get 4. Let's see. By the way, am I like loud enough? I was watching it the other day and I was like, I don't know if this is loud enough. Sometimes when I was like mumbling or like looking away like this, it didn't sound good. Maybe I should increase it. I'm just looking at it right now, and filters, my compressor. I'm just gonna do that. So that should be a little louder. And hopefully I'm not. Nah, I think we're okay. Uptick again. I'm also not seeing reloading to force it down. Which is kind of odd. But here again, it was kind of like, yeah, there's too many people went long there. They're going to get washed out lower. They did. Now that they have, though, I'm still a little skeptical. Like, does the seller really want it to continue to go? Or... Okay. So the E-mini is back up to the high end of the range. And I see a bunch of people trying to take positions again. Oh, there just went the camera. Oh, hey, the chat thing is working today. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting, folks. So I don't know what Stream Elements or Labs did, but now it works. I still don't think we need... Whoa, what's going on? Well, I think some news hit, and I'm not sure which way it's going to go, so I'm just kind of have to sit here and watch. Okay. You know what we could do if let's just... Okay. In fact, it should be... We should put it down one. That was a really weird order flow. I've not... The situation doesn't really make sense for that kind of order flow to be trading there at 15.5. You know what I should do is make sure that I've got a good... Yeah, let's just make one. Let's just make a new one that's just only stop. It was just a test order on Sim to test something.
Claudio Ibarola says so, they never bid 185 firmly, for this reason big sellers at 180, 175, 170 never puke out. I can conclude they were protecting their future sell. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, it might have been that they were trying to, how do you say, they were trying to coax people into buying it there, exactly so that they could push it lower. Now, why they wanted it lower so badly, I don't know. But the thing is I kind of think that this action that we saw at 15 and a half is even more interesting. Dum, bum, ba, dum. Not even any orders. Since I placed that one, 50 lots have gone through. Are you kidding me? After they traded like 10K lots down there and now you can't even get 50 to go through? What? That don't make much sense at all, does it? E-mini does kind of look like it's going to turn back down again. Now, there's a
Popularity Matters says I feel like a king getting my 1 point in S.
there's a stack there trying to force him up. And he was successful. And there was an iceberg there at 16, sure enough. Hum, hum, hum. At E-mini. Hey, you're able to sell that down to the low of the day a little too easily, don't you think? Don't you think? Ooh, there's some stops that time. Now it's really going. That is really going. That was really ugly. And they take it offer again. I kind of feel like it's acting like, oh, by the way, are we still, okay, I think we're good. It seems to me like it's acting like they think they know something. Hmm. Ken Starr, former independent counsel. Does this really reach the level of treason, bribery, or other high crimes or misdemeanors? My assessment of the evidence so far, nowhere close. The evidence is conflicting and ambiguous. Ambassador Sondland's testimony stated that President Trump said that the Ukraine president should just do the right thing, no quid pro quo. You shouldn't charge. Okay, I got triggered there. You cannot convict a sitting president on the basis of conflicting and ambiguous evidence and destabilize the American government. And Donald Trump says, thank you, Ken. Okay, well, that didn't necessarily work out the way that I would hope. Hmm. Yeah, no. Whoa. Stanky, stanky, stanky. The bid and the ask. Well, now the big boys are a little bit more triggered by this one. The E-mini is starting to get a little ugly. Okay. Not seeing pulling on the offers. Strong stacking, though. Okay, that's a little better. Okay. Well, it's not. The E-mini still has some room to go before they're like below the overnight low. So I kind of think that some of this flow is a little overly dramatic. You know what I mean? It is stacking up pretty good there, though. Okay. Well, remember 18.5 was the level that they had a hard time taking before, huh? Like they had a few tick into 19? Okay, well, that's a much better stack than any other time, and they didn't immediately hit it back. In fact, only 2 orders decided to sell it.
Block buy.
Holy shit. China watching Donald Trump's response to U.S. Hong Kong bill as it threatens to become new barrier to trade deal, SCMP. Buy that shit. Buy that shit. Hell yes. A little bit too much distribution here. E-mini should be falling much harder than it is. Well, I never quite got 8. Are they basically saying that if Donald Trump signs the bill that it's going to be a
Lucas
barrier
says,
to the
damn.
trade deal? Ooh, if this whole situation gets very interesting if they say that you signed the Hong Kong bill and it's a barrier to the trade deal. You know what? I don't know how Donald Trump would react to that one. I think this is one of the first times where
Lucas
I don't
says, was this news
know what he
related or
will
did they
do.
buy cuz why not?
Oh no, so let me read it again. China watching Donald Trump's response to U.S. Hong Kong bill as it threatens to become a new barrier to trade deal, reports SCNP. Beijing may decide to fight and talk alternatively and is now closely monitoring the U.S. president's next move following the vote by Congress. So they're basically saying that if he signs that bill, that it's going to be a barrier to signing the trade deal. Do you think that Donald Trump would be hesitant to sign the bill because of that? I don't know. It seems like he really wants the deal, you know? But if it was me and they say, hey, in order for you to get the trade deal, you have to sign on to genocide and suppressing freedom of people in Hong Kong and all these other things, you know what I would say? I would say, fuck you! You should sign it. You should absolutely sign it. Sorry for the language, but come on, guys. That is just so like not signing a bill condemning evil actions because you want a trade deal. That just seems so immoral to me. I would be so disappointed if he doesn't sign that bill. Let's see what they say. It's curious that piece of news, I thought that was a pretty significant development. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe I'm reading too much into this, because this is just the most recent thing that we've seen. But I feel like that we should be moving much, much further than we have so far. Okay, well, buyers taking it at 20 and not really holding it. Now they're taking 19.5 and not really holding that either. Oh, actually, they're holding that one much better than they did the other way. E-mini's coming back a little bit. Well, Fed's Cascari forecasts continued growth, but says trade is a quote-unquote big risk. Tweet from Live Squawk.
Greg Orlovsky says ES digging in for the 100th time, short from 3,104 and covered now.
Nice. But you covered it, huh? I don't know, Greg. I really felt like they should have gone a lot farther on that piece of news than they did. Can you believe the cumulative delta on the move actually wasn't all that special? An 18.5 was where
Greg
it was.
Orlovsky says IDK Seth?
I don't know. Yeah, it is kind of weird, right? I was getting a little animated earlier. I wish maybe I should have taken it at right up here, because, I mean, that's too far back.
Lucas says maybe some of that bad news was already priced in?
I don't know, maybe.
Greg Orlovsky says the news has been out there. Pence had comments the other day, smiley face. Greg Orlovsky says yes, Lucas. Popularity Matters says woot $60 bucks on that drop. I'm such a rich kid.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. Hmm. Okay, so 2356 at 19.
Greg Orlovsky says now the market is going to selective with the China news. Joke.
Right. Well, you know what? The E-mini has
Popularity
been
Matters
selling
says
pretty good
these
today,
two
though.
witnesses have been the best.
You think so? Well, the Democrats certainly seem to like what the guy said yesterday, but I still, my read on it is still that it's not important. So here's the thing. I come over, I look at Reddit yesterday, and I'm reading the headlines in r/politics, and they say, bombshell testimony. Democrats look to expand probe after today's bombshell testimony. Here's the thing. If it was really a bombshell testimony, the headline wouldn't be bombshell testimony. The headline would be what he said. So I suspect that. Really? I'd really like to know who's the crazy mofo that's selling this thing. $25. If they bust through that, there's less liquidity. There's a vacuum up here above us. They didn't actually stack after all this trade went through at 20.
Popularity Matters says I watch to both conservative
Yeah, that's
radio
true.
and progressive radio both tell you the exact opposite every day. We don't have a centered news source in America.
I think it's fun to listen to both sides and then try and figure out how the way that the opinion is going to go after they've put their things out. Sometimes you can kind of tell based on how they do it. That's why I'm saying, like, yeah, Democrats are going to try and make the piece of information seem bigger than it was. But if it was that great, they would have just used the guy's words in the headline, and they're not doing that. And meanwhile, the Republicans still seem to be like on the attack. Okay, so they did take the 19.
Popularity Matters says I'm always arguing with both while listening.
They took 2,000. They ticked up. It was a decent bid. I'm still seeing kind of a little bit of a liquidity vacuum at 19.5 and 20. And the 5-year kind of looking anxious to move up. Well, there's still profit taking there. And the E-mini looking to go for another dive. So now they're eyeing the overnight low. Right? Oh, sorry, the opening range. The overnight low is at 30.90. To me, it would be super crazy after all of this for them to not make a new overnight low in the E-mini. Okay, well, quite a bit there. 25 in the 5-year.
Popularity Matters says I'm trading Fast Girl RTY today. Little less crazy than her sister NQ.
Is she fast? I've never pulled that one up. So there's just a lot of orders plowing into that 25, but it hasn't gone bid yet. And in fact, it's kind of like here again. How many orders do you have to do?
Popularity Matters says I used to only dom trade NQ back in the day.
Okay.
The swings are crazy.
Look at this.
Popularity Matters says RTY is slower than NQ but still volatile.
Now somebody bids it. Okay. Now somebody bids it. And that's causing a couple of people to run. 25.25. Cool. Still super windy outside. I wonder if it's windy everywhere in Utah or if it's just here in Centerville. Hey, Mini making a pretty strong comeback. 5-year having a hard time holding 25.25. Oh, there you go. A few. Oh, there's that 25.5 has a pretty good stack on it. I wonder if that one is just wants to fill. Maybe they'll just go through him. Sure. Well, a few hit and they actually pulled a little bit. They're putting decent bids at 25.25. Iceberg. Look at the E-mini is falling back again. Where are my clicks? They're all on the asks really far away. Well, this is what happened before when we were at the low and we first kind of got our first buy. Yeah. Took a strong bid there, 25.25 that time.
Air Cages says beast mode trade Seth.
Beast mode trade? No. Maybe if I had taken the profit off of the initial move. Okay. Oh, that's not what you want to see. Okay, 700 is a little better. Yeah. I don't know if the robots are just confused or what. Seeing a lot of clicks and all sorts of stuff. Well, 25. Bears really like this spot. Yeah. Huh. Feel like they're just waiting for me to get out and then there's going to be another rush up. But, I would really like to see a stronger stack than 500 at 19.5, There's just a lot of orders going through here, too. So, it might be good to get out here just because this flakiness is just not giving us a very good read. Well, that clicked down. I don't like that. That was 500 added on 17.5. Oh, wait, what?
Greg Orlovsky says pop in the ZB was a 3-minute move. 160 even running a block.
Yeah. Fine. +4. Could have been more. Oh, well. I lost 3 on it. It was good for holding on, though. Still a good day.
Air Cages says I'm closing my BTC shorts.
You closing them?
Lucas says Seth you got the entry and the main course but I don't think you can have dessert.
Yeah. That's exact. I really like the way you put that, Lucas. I really wanted that to be a more than 8 ticker. I thought there was every reason for that to move. I cannot believe. I mean, really.
Greg Orlovsky says +4 is awesome. Waiting for a further move was correct.
Yeah. I think that there was a
Lucas
good
says
chance.
Yes, +4 is great.
Yeah, there was really a good chance that it could have gone 4. So I think we did the right thing. I really still wish that I had gotten the 9. Like, that was the thing, was I saw this crazy order flow and I thought, okay, well, there's probably still some more because I think that there should be a little bit more unwinding, and then it didn't happen. So that one was, I suppose, a little bit of a mistake, but an understandable one, you know. It was an unusual thing for it to happen, you know? But back to the thing, I just feel like that this should go further. Like, who is selling this? Can you imagine selling treasuries in this situation? Like, taking a huge short position in the US treasuries in this situation? Especially after that. China basically saying, hey, don't sign the bill or it will hurt your ability to get a trade deal. Like, serious? Because Donald Trump is not he's gonna sign it. They already said that they already pretty much said that they were gonna sign it. And now it would almost be like a severe moral failing if he didn't. Because I think that Donald Trump's fans would be severely disappointed if he didn't sign a bill condemning what's going on in Hong Kong. So he almost has to sign it. It's just... So you hear that and then you go short? Really?
Greg Orlovsky says he won't show weakness to China.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's almost guaranteed that he's going to sign it. So is China bluffing here, or are they really going to make it a big deal? And if they do make it a big deal, then of course this deal is not happening. Oh, man. I don't know, guys. It's an interesting situation. So even with that trade, though, I think that kind of puts us back to where we want to be. Let's check. It's about time for me to get going, too.
Air Cages says, what are your thoughts on BTC? Greg
Oh, yeah.
Orlovsky says ES, right back to 3,100.
So I am like right there. Still would like to have some more room, but it's okay. We're doing okay. We've been getting like 4 every day. It's slow progress, but it's good. Bitcoin. No, we don't need this chart anymore, by the way. And we don't need this. Well, and I did have it somewhere. Oh, that's funny. Why couldn't I find it before? Bitcoin. Oh, yeah. Ooh. So here's the thing that I find interesting about that move, Air Cages. Yesterday we had some pretty ugly trade war news. It really, really pushed down the E-mini much lower than we are now. They were down to 3090 when they touched that point of control, and then they reversed. Okay, and
Popularity Matters says you can make a living on just 4 ticks a day.
Mm-hmm.
Grady talks about that in one interview. You need size and high expectancy.
Yeah, and 4 ticks is about what we should expect to get, because that's the average range, right? Getting 8 is great. Getting 8 is an above average trade. Okay, anyways, when we had the news, Bitcoin bought up on the news, and then they dumped. So...
Greg Orlovsky says, Seth, great show today. I'll comment on the video later, with a trade timestamp in the comments, thanks.
Okay. Hey, thank you very much, Greg. By the way, guys, go ahead and hit that like button. I didn't say anything earlier. 5 of you have already done it.
Says 8 is a Trump PSSY grab.
Could be. 8 is normally like my target. Like if it gets to 8, I almost have to, there has to be something showing that they're really going to push up further for me to not take it. And they were just shy of it.
Claudio Ibarola says yes, great lessons today.
Anyways, this move down in Bitcoin, it
Lucas says
concerns me.
averaging for a day is 85 to 90 ticks a month. On a 2 lots that's $2.5 thousand.
Yeah. Yeah, if I get 4 every day consistently like this, then I would be doing amazing. Normally, though, I'll have a +4 and then a -4. So, yeah, it's just weird to me that the trade war news, they bought Bitcoin up, which makes sense. Like this trade deal not happening kind of is positive towards Bitcoin because all these guys in China want their money out of China. Okay, so that makes sense. But then somebody just used that as an opportunity to sell it and dump it hard. So that is kind of, that really surprises me. I mean, I know I've been bearish on Bitcoin, but that was like somebody was just waiting for the perfect opportunity to fade it and sell it again. Not a positive thing for Bitcoin. Not a positive thing for Bitcoin. Now, does that mean it's going to stop there? I don't really know. Like, that's the hard thing, is still on a short-term basis. I don't know what Bitcoin is going to do. I suspect that we could still go much lower. My numbers still say, well, let's hold on. Let's see what my numbers say. My numbers say the lower bound is still 3,000. The lower bound is still 3,000. So we could see that if there's a real puke. But every time that it's done this sort of a thing, they recover it or they boost it up really quickly. So we'll see if it turns around. Oh, guys, thank you so much. You all clicked like. 12 likes right there now. I really, just to, I know I say this every day, but nothing helps the channel more than hitting that like button. And then when the video is uploaded later in the day, coming back and commenting on the video. And we've been doing really well lately because we've been doing that. And I really like commenting on you guys. Like, I like to know, how did you do for the day? And what you thought about what was going on. Like to me, this is like the place to kind of have those discussions about what we think about the market and see how other people feel about things, And then, and it makes this such a great place to do it because then you can go back and look at the video weeks later and see what we were saying and what happened that day. So, super, super cool. Anyways, I know I started with this, but I want to be on record again. Maybe I'm going to be like terribly wrong and like foolish and everything, but it really looks to me like this trade deal is not happening and the market is in denial. The market is in denial, but it's not going to happen. There's no way. Like China was reneging on the deal that we made, and now they're saying, don't sign that bill. That's not the actions of somebody that really wants to sign a trade deal, in my opinion. So, we'll see how it turns out. But today, the buy worked out for us, and it was great. Maybe I should have even bought it lower, but 17 was an okay spot. And you know what? The best part was that the strategy just worked really well. I said, I'm just going to sit there with a stop buy order above the market. And that way, when the bad piece of news hits, I hit into it. And actually, I hit into it before the bad piece of news, but I think that they were buying it up because some people already knew. Fedensmeister says, she would reevaluate monetary policy if there were signs of weakness in hiring or consumer spending. She thinks risks to the economy are still tilted slightly to the downside.
Popularity Matters says in Treasury you can throw a 10 lot in the market like it is nothing. All the bigger prop Treasury traders just swing 10 to 40 lots for small tick gains. Michael XC says I was gone. When did you get in?
I got in at 17. And I took 19 on it, I think. Did I take 19 or did I take 19.5? No, I took 19. So, oh wait. Oh, yeah, no, I got that right. So overall, the day I got 5 ticks because I got 1 tick when it was up here, and then I let it come down, and then when it was coming back up, I bought it there again. I'm wondering if I could have gotten 16 or 16.5. I mean, there was certainly this dead area and then some spiking there. I don't know. Yeah, it was like, Lucas says it was like 15 minutes ago.
Lucas says like 15 minutes ago. Lucas says I think.
Yeah. Anyways, I still, I mean, the way that this is all tilted, this looks to me like the trend is reversed. And so if we have more moves, I think that we could go higher. But somebody is selling it. I don't know. It's a tough call, but I would still be preferring longs. I guess though the reason I think that is because I am really, really confident that the further news on the trade war is going to be really bad.
Michael XC says, Seth, you need to find a co-host, except he should take over once you go to work.
I know, right? Well, I've been telling my wife, I'm like, you should trade. And I would like her to stream, but I bet you she would be really scared to stream. But I tell you what, I'm not the only stream out there. So, and from my perspective of it, obviously, I would love for you guys to watch me, and only me, and I would feel so privileged, and obviously I feel so privileged that you guys do watch me, and you come in every day. Honestly, you are quite possibly the most loyal audience on the internet. I'm totally dead serious about that. I really think you guys might be the most loyal audience on the internet. But
Michael XC says the only reason I know of this stream is from the Discord.
Oh, is that really the case? That's cool. Yeah, well, yeah. I just kind of let things happen organically for the most part.
Michael XC says the only reason I know of the Discord is from searching for futures discords.
Well, that's good. I really think that we have the best Discord for futures. I don't think that anything comes even close to how good our Discord is for futures. Hey, look, maybe they're going to push up now. Maybe I should go before I feel too much FOMO and want to get in again. But hey guys, when I'm gone, you can totally go and watch other places, and you can go to those other places and say, hey, there's this other guy. No, don't do that. Don't. But there are other channels on YouTube. There's some guys when I go to work, there's a guy I watch on Twitch. There's a bond stocks and bonds category on Twitch. Well, there's other people to talk to. But obviously, nowhere that I have seen where they have a DOM up. That's why I've been saying lately as like professional traders use a DOM. That's the thing that seems to separate us. So I know about this because of YouTube order flow DOM treasury stuff. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, my channel is actually starting to become pretty authoritative on the search term futures. A lot of people are getting recommendations for futures when they search that. I'm starting to work now towards, well, there's a couple more videos I want to make, but then I think that we're going to start to expand our search terms a little bit again. Can maybe start to get into some more plays about other things too. But thank you guys very much. So again, if you haven't hit that like button, it looks like most of you have, but if you haven't hit that like button, hit the like button. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, because the bell icon makes it much easier to find our stream when we go live. Also, in the video description, I have some links for some Facebook groups. I'm going to try and post in the Facebook group every day. It would be really nice if I wasn't the only one. But I will be the only one if I have to be. So I will see you there and in the comments. And of course, I will see you tomorrow, Friday. Will be very interesting. And in the meantime, stay profitable, friends.